Hello stunning souls, and welcome to my first video of this YouTube channel. My name is Lucy, it's nice to meet you, and I figured today's episode? What am I, TV? Today's tarot video, Pickacard, is going to be people's first impressions of you. So what we're going to look at today is potential romantic interest, how they first view you. We're going to be looking at potential friendships, how people see you in your career, how people see you in school, and people's impressions of you as you're walking down the street, minding your own business. So yeah, I'm really excited. We have 3 piles here. We have pile number 1 with this beautiful blue gold stone. It does sparkle. I don't know if you can see that. I don't have one of those cameras that like focus. We're on the budget here, babes. Anyway, pile number 2 is this clear quartz. Beautiful. And then pile number 3 is this rhododite, which I'm probably pronouncing completely wrong, so oopsies. But yeah, she's a little pink goddess. We love her. That is the visual part. And then we're going to go on to the sound. So if you're clairaudient, I want you guys to feel included. So let's get straight onto the clairaudient. Pile 1. Pile 2. Pile 3. Alright guys, so let's get straight onto your reading. Okay, so pile number 1. Hi, thank you so much for being here. You have chosen the beautiful blue gold stone, which is like a magical stone for me. I mean, look how it sparkles. It's so beautiful. Basically, that helps with anxiety, hypertension. I also see it as kind of like a magical stone that will help you manifest more. That's just me personally. Maybe you guys can resonate with that as well. So let's pop over here. And I'm already feeling like you guys have a very strong magnetic energy, almost kind of like a lion. So before we get too ahead of ourselves, I'm also getting a hawk as well, but we'll go into symbolism later. So basically we're going to do an energy check first. So that will just help you have an extra layer of confirmation to see if this is your pal or not. So I'm sorry if the lighting goes all over the place, by the way. We're doing it al natural here, babes. Okay, so we have divinity as your first card. So that's going to set the tone. This basically tells me that you are a divine mirror to most people. So when people look at you, they think, oh my god, your energy is so intense. It's very much a energy of when people look at you, their own inner karma comes out, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like you set people's, I'm hearing karmic intentions, I feel like you kind of like set people off. You might be one of those people that kind of like makes people a little bit uneasy if they are not in alignment to their higher self. And I feel like because of the hawk symbolism coming through, you definitely see through people immediately. You have the gift. Basically, you are a divine channel. I'm getting that a lot. So you might be a scripter, you might channel, hold meditations, the moon might be quite significant with you guys. You're just very magnetic, very much in your crown chakra. And your star chakra, which is a little bit higher than your crown. So good for you guys. But we're gonna get into our tarot now. Okay, see what we get. So spirit. First of all, we're gonna channel your energy so you guys can recognize yourself in this pile. If not, all good. Choose another pile, or maybe this is not the reading for you. So pile number 1. I knew this energy was gonna come out. Somehow. Yeah. So again, it feels like you just set people off. Like your aura might be very intimidating, but yeah, you see you have the tower coming out here, so you set karmic things into motion within people. People might not particularly warm to you, but like I said, those are the people that need healing the most. But you are such a beautiful, loving energy as well. We do have Taurus energy with the Empress, and also I see Virgo because of the wheat, but doesn't have to be, all good. But you actually do have a very divine feminine energy. You're very caring, very nurturing, but you're powerful, and that can intimidate people. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, what have we got? The sun. Do you see how I have to like cover up her little... Yeah, I know. I don't want to get demonetized, so I've covered up the little nudie parts with rhinestones. Interesting. But the sun, so beautiful. You do have... Oh, and oh my god, all these cards came out. That's just your powerful energy. We'll put that under the tower. So yeah. Do you like the devil's little gem titties? Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, Two of Swords. Okay, so again, oh wow, okay, I can't take all of these, but I definitely see the message here. I get the message for it. Thank you so much. Okay, so you, like I said, when people meet you, they think, wow, and my chest is quite heavy. So I definitely feel as if when I enter your auric field, it makes me question everything, like in a good way. It makes me question, okay, am I in my highest good? Like, am I in my divine healing? You might get people who ghost you a lot, but that's just because you set things into motion. You trigger people in the best way possible. You actually are almost like a divine healer in that sense. You know, you have like different types of divine healers. Some are softer energy, some through music, some through voice. You have the gift of mirroring people's insecurities. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I just have to really reiterate that. So you have the devil here. Shiny. Yeah, you have the devil here. So basically, again, you might also, I'm picking up, and this is romantically, but you may also be one of those people that when a couple is walking by in the street, for example, you might be one of those people that struts down the street and one of the party in the couple looks at you and the other one gets a little bit jealous, like a little bit mad. You just had that like really strong energy, very feline energy. Like you strut your stuff, you know who you are. Even if you don't feel like you do, you come across as someone who just basically knows who they are. Like, oh, it's just such a great energy. But the sun, you're so lovely. I feel like if someone just took the time to get to know you, and we are dealing with first impressions here, but I feel like when they get to know you, they think you're like the greatest person, you're energetic, like you champion yourself and you champion others, you're just this beautiful, caring, giving person. You might like have a lot of house plants on, you know, around your home. You're like a feeder, if that makes sense. So maybe like you're a good cook. I'm hearing feeder, so like maybe, yeah, like you're a good chef, you like to feed people, nourish people. You listen to people, you give advice, you feed their soul basically. But again, you just have that trigger energy that people are like, oh, and they may not particularly warm to you immediately just because of that, but it's not you, it's just this magnetic aura you have. And we have the High Priestess, so you are, of course, and the Divinity card, you channel spirit constantly, even if you're not aware about it. Your aura, it's like a deep magenta to me. Doesn't have to be, but right now it comes across as a deep magenta. You operate from your crown chakra, and you often hear people operating from their heart space and stuff, and my chest does hurt, so perhaps maybe that is something that you do as well. But I think you operate from love, but it comes from the divine, like you just channel spirit. You're one of those people. But again, you make people, if they do ghost you and you don't hear from people again, it's because it's almost like they're finding their own inner child, and they're going off on their own journey. Like you set people who need to be reset. If that makes sense. It's quite heavy energy to deal with, but you guys are such empowered people. You just thrive with it. We have Justice, so perhaps you could be in like a structured system, so like law or police, but even if you're not, it doesn't matter. I feel like social justice is very important to you. You don't like seeing wrongs. You like to set the record straight. I think you are pretty capable of speaking your highest truth. You know when to stand up for yourself, you know when something isn't right, and you'll say it. But I do hear like you will bide your time and try to get all the facts right. Perhaps if you weren't like that, like maybe you are entering immature energy where you are now starting to be a bit more considered, but still standing in your power. But yeah, again, like you are this moon, beautiful, intuitive energy here, and with the water, but it's a bit rocky behind her. So you kind of set these little like obstacle course for these people within themselves, and they're like, oh, like do I carry on going through the 3D morals or values, or do I go to the 5D and start going on my path? So I mean, I love you guys. You're what the world needs. And to be honest, look at you, like this is what people do. Like they go off and they find who they really are, like their own inner strength. So maybe you inspire other people more than you realize. You're an inspirational type. Okay, right. That was the energy check. I hope that resonated with you guys. Let's just go straight on into potential romantic relationships. How do they see you? Interesting. Okay, right. Pull some cards, because every day I'm shuffling. Maybe you guys like disco music, or like you're a bit of a party or something. I don't know why I had that head. I don't know why I had that head. That makes sense. Why I had that. Okay, we have fearlessness in reverse. Interesting. So perhaps you guys you have overcome quite a lot in your lives to make you this strong. A lot of oppression, maybe, perhaps, is what I'm getting for a select few of you, where you had to kind of stand in your own power. You know what I mean? You're one of those like kind of sassy types. But we're talking about romantic relationships here. Spirit, come on, let's get a little bit of focused in here. Right, romantic relationships. I'm hearing from Spirit, firecracker. I think a lot of people do not want to mess with you, in the sense of like, if they're interested in you, they don't want to waste your time too much. Perhaps in the past you had a lot of people interested in you who weren't up to your high standards. Not your high standards, I don't think you put people like on a high standards, but I do feel like people, kind of like this energy I'm in now, I feel like I'm quite nervous around you, so I'm probably channeling the person, potential romantic relationships who are interested in you. So I think, I feel quite nervous, so I'm trying to like do one of those things, those like, you know when they do this, and they're like, I don't know how to do it, look at me, I'm so terrible. Anyway, whatever. Okay, you have the frog spirit, she wants to come out. Of course she does. 28, perhaps it's your age. Doesn't really matter. Again, we have like a crystal ball energy going on here. You guys are so psychic, so intuitive, and hypnotic. The thing I love about the frog, very hypnotic. Beautiful colors going on. Interesting. What else do we have? Clear out the clutter. Again, like, oh my god, you guys. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, we're clearing out the clutter. This is romantic, so like, I feel like you can, okay, what comes to mind is that Selena Gomez video, I want a boyfriend. And you know how she's like kissing a lot of frogs? Perhaps you guys have had a lot of frogs in your life. And we're looking for that prince, princess, or non-gendered, non-gendered, regal person. There we go. You know, perhaps, what am I talking about? I'm waffling. Anyway, okay, I just want to pull one more squirrel. Yeah, so I think these people, okay, yes, okay. So I feel like you're probably looking for someone who has all of their kind of like, shit together, to be honest with you. Someone who's a more mature energy. Like, I feel like these are people you've had in the past where they were kind of like very like hypnotized by you and your presence, and a little bit slimy because they just, perhaps you could see through them. Like in past relationships, you could just see who they were immediately, and you could tell if they were being dishonest with themselves or with you or with situations, and you needed someone who would stick rather than slime. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? But this is the kind of energy right now. I'm trying to get potential relationships how they see you. Yeah, I feel like they definitely, if I was just some scrub, you know, I don't want no scrub. Yeah, if I was a scrub type of person, I'd be like, ooh, I need to get my business in order. I need to get my life in order before I approach this person. Or I feel like when I'm with you, I have to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to, but like, I feel like I want to do better for you. 100%. But like, we also have autumn theme going on here. So I feel like potential romantic relationships do feel almost like you're a warm person. Like, you're not cold, you're not, like, you're just a very nice, like, that sun energy is coming out. So when they get close to you and they talk to you, like, oh, this is a very warming energy. I feel like I have a nice cocoa on a cold day, you know what I mean? Kind of like a warm blanket, like a nice feeling. Yeah, I hope this makes sense, because I feel like I'm not making much sense. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Romantic atmosphere. Disasters in the air. I'm singing a lot with you guys, so perhaps you guys express yourself through singers, or you're great singers. I just get a lot of baddie bitch energy. Oh, okay. So we have, I am my own keeper, I write my own story. I am your captive. There we go. So yeah, these guys are pretty entranced by you. And I mean guys, it's in like a non-gendered thing, so take it how it resonates. Basically, yeah, so it is with the showy Banksia, how do you pronounce it? I don't know. Banksia? It is a small tree that has thin leaves with prominent teeth. So again, you could be a little bit prickly on first impressions, but you have a beautiful smile as well, I hear. Like, honestly, you just do. You have a beautiful smile that captures people. So even though you might have a slightly prickly nature, just due to that magnetic aura we were talking about earlier, look how beautiful this like main flower is. It's just like, it's also honey eaters, so it's nectar feeding. So again, that honey kind of warmth energy is coming through. So like bees in the trap, and if the bee can come in and take the honey from you, euphemism there, great, beautiful, they're hooked. Nothing will taste sweeter. But if they fall in the trap, that's their own damn fault, you know what I'm saying? I don't want this. You guys know what you want. I feel like you won't take anything less. You've been through it already. Okay, right. I also feel like... yeah, I feel like someone here is very sassy on your spirit team. I definitely feel like as soon as I see you down the street, I'm like, damn! Who is that? Beautiful, beautiful. Want to get to know. She takes care of it, or he takes care of themselves, or they take care of themselves. Like, probably put together. You have a strut towards you. Like, towards you? You have a strut. You have a strut with you. How do I pronounce this? How do I pronounce it? Wait. Oh my god, I'm stumbling again. I'm so nervous in this energy if I saw you. You have a strut to you. There we go. So you sashay across the street. And you probably didn't even realize this, but like, I feel like people would definitely do a triple take if they saw you. 100%. And I'm seeing mirrors. So maybe perhaps you've walked past a window and people have seen you in the reflection, because it's quite one of those kind of like mirror windows, and they're like, damn, that, oh my god, spirit, no, I can't say that. Okay, I will. Spirit's literally saying, damn that ass. Okay. First, okay, right, calm down. I'm a respectable tarot reader. Not really. Destiny again, divinity, destiny. You set people on their destiny. What is up with this? And again, we have someone clutching their heart space and another sword. Almost like that seven of swords energy earlier? I can't remember. But triumph and success, and we have 10 and a 1. So yeah, you set people, because you are a 10, and the people that you are triggering are 1. They're just starting out on their journey, but you, goddamn, you set them. Because you see how you have that purple here? Yeah, that's you. And you are basically using that divine power and setting them free on their own path. They want to fight for you. These people, your potential romantic relationships, they kind of start over. They kind of realize that, oh, my life is kind of weird. Like, oh. Or like, okay, what's a good example? Say someone is working a job they don't want to work. Say that they are a pediatrician. And they meet you. And they're going on dates with you, and suddenly they realize from your energy and perhaps what you're saying, this person really has it together. This person looks amazing, they're living their life path, or they at least know it, they're in touch with their spirituality. Perhaps I need to start over again, and rather than climb the ladder I don't want and be at the top, I'd rather go down the slide and have a fun time and enter the pool of happiness. Don't know where that came from, but whatever, spirit channeled that obviously, which interesting saying. I don't think anyone's going to be saying that in 10,000 years to come. Anyway, but yeah, I definitely feel like they want to start, they want to live their best life because, and you help that, you inspire that 100%. And then the bottom of the deck we have intuition and moving on. And then again with that lion energy, power, rejoice and celebration. Oh, gosh, you guys. I really want to do an 18 plus reading with you. Just because I feel like you also have such strong sexual prowess as well. And if you're sitting there thinking, oh, girl, no, well, sorry, this is how people see you, and you're just going to deal with it. Right, now we're going to move on to potential friendships. So, let's say maybe you're at work or something, or you are at a party, or you're at school, and you're like, oh, I wonder what people, like my friends first thought of me, or like, I wonder what potential friendships think of me. Well, we're gonna know, girl. Okay, Spirit. What do potential friends think? Ooh. Oh yeah, okay, you're the nurturing energy again. Oh, and the world. The sparkly titties again. Oh, and the eagle. And the eagle's coming back. Okay, so this is where the eagle comes in with your friends. You basically tell them to cut any stupid karmic ties. So I feel like if someone sees you, and a star, God, you guys are so strong. Okay, so yeah, maybe you're an Aquarius, maybe not, who knows, that could be an energy that you have in your chart somewhere. But either way, you are their dream friend. So I feel like friendship is slightly different. Perhaps they won't be as intimidating with you, or like you're just very good at attracting. Okay, wait, hold on. I feel like people want to be your friend. Like you're almost kind of like a popular person in any group situation. Like people just kind of gravitate towards you. You have it almost like Scorpio-like energy where people can get a bit obsessed, or like they see you as a bit like a almost like a Regina George, but your personality is more of a Katie, if that makes sense. Mean Girls reference, I'm sorry if you haven't seen it. But basically, you have like, you are the person that people want to be around. You draw people in and you help them, and people, I think friendships, potential friendships know that you're comforting, that you listen to people, that you're nurturing, but you have, again, with the eagle coming out, and also the bulls kind of striking me a lot as well. Almost like you bandage people's wounds a little bit. Like you just make people feel heard, and you're very giving. 100% you're very giving, and you're like the best, you're like the true friend. You remind me a little bit of my best friend. I mean, when I first met her, I did not like her at all. Like I was like, oh, this fish. But we got thrown together over the years, got to know her, and she's one of my best friends. Like lovely, like just caring, but she had that energy where I was just like, and with you it's slightly different. With you, it's like, oh, I really want to be that girl, or that guy, or that person. I really want to be, like, I want to be around that person. You're just the nurturer. Let's see what else we get. What do you have at the bottom of the deck? I'm going to split the deck. Oh, the Tower came out again. So yeah, again, you're healing people's wound and stuff. And maybe you've had a few turbulent relationships earlier on in life. But I think you're also very careful with who you select as your friends. Perhaps at one point it got a little bit out of hand and you had quite a big friend group. This is only for some of you. But you just really have, over the years, matured, because you're quite a mature person. So I feel like you definitely realised that actually I don't need a group of, like a whole big bunch of friends, and that I'd rather just have like smaller friends, like just people who really care for me. But the first impression of you, yeah, they definitely see you as someone that they want to be. They believe that they like, you know what I mean? Like the best is yet to come. Like they want to be you. Almost like you are the star again, and this is the flower energy, and it's like opening up. You open people up. So maybe you also get random people who want, like, just strangers who are like, oh, you're nice. Like I'm going to tell you all about my life story, and you could be like the checkout, and suddenly the cashier's like blah 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 blah, and you're like, oh, interesting. And that person, when you leave, it's like, oh, I wish that person was my friend. Because you really are a delight to people. You know how to have fun. You're almost like a life and soul of the party. And you don't necessarily have to be an extrovert to be a life and soul of the party. Because some of you may be introverts, but like I definitely feel like people just really like basking in your energy. And again, we have the star. My gosh. So you have like a divine spiritual focus that kind of brings people together, and you want people to be their best selves, and I think people pick that up when they first see you. Definitely. I want to pull a bit more about this one. So I just want you to be, I don't know, I feel like I want to be, like Spirit's telling me you need to be a little bit careful of like giving yourself too much away. And perhaps this is where the whole you kind of like paring back your friendship group is coming, because I feel like you guys are almost like your service to other people, and I want you to be, well, I don't want you to be, but Spirit's kind of like, you need to be aware of your own energy levels getting depleted, because if you're channeling all the time, that can be a bit draining. So yeah, Groundhog Day. Yeah, so again we have like a heart right here, so you're holding it very much. So perhaps if someone offloads on you, perhaps you feel a little bit overwhelmed sometimes, just because you're like a sponge, you picked up that energy and you're like, oh, okay. Why do I, maybe it takes a while to set in. So perhaps, like I said, if you went to the cashier as an example, and they started telling you about the whole life story, and then you walk away, and then like 15 hours later you're like, oh, I feel so drained all of a sudden, like, oh, why do I feel so tired, like maybe I just woke up from a nap and I still feel really down and like really kind of like just depleted. It's probably because you still had that energy from before of the cashier. And even if you're like in a supermarket, I feel like you're one of those people that can get not anxious but just very aware of people. Perhaps you feel like you've got a lot of eyes on you, and yes, you do have a lot of eyes on you because, you know, you are very magnetic to people, but you have just that energy. Wait. Yeah, sorry. So I got a little bit distracted. God knows where I went there. I just feel like perhaps you guys hop dimensions quite a bit, because I feel quite spaced out with this reading. Your astral travelers, to be sure. Anyway, focus. Okay. I feel like you're in the say example, you're in a supermarket and you feel like a lot of people are looking at you, and you're probably right, they are. It's their energy is checking you out because your energy is very strong, and that can be very draining. So you're hyper aware of this. You read people to a T, and you can sense that they're looking at you. So Spirit is basically, and I feel like some of you have learnt this, just to protect your own energy first. It's okay to be within yourself. It's okay to put it's okay to put your needs first, and have solid boundaries. But I feel like a lot of you already recognize this. We have transformation at the end, so we have obviously like a crown and 11. So that just tells you that you're strong. You're again very spiritually strong, and you've been through that kind of almost like a Kundalini awakening with your heart space and your heart chakra, and with the channel with your crown chakra. Your heart and your crown always comes up, so that's definitely places where you are channeling. You're just a very strong person. Right, okay, I think that's enough for your friendships. We're going to now go into your career, if that's okay with you. So your career, how do people view you in your chosen field, or any field that you're in, doesn't really matter. Let's see, this could be customers, could be co-workers. Beautiful. I keep seeing a dog, so maybe you guys like dogs. I don't know why I'm seeing that. Oh, we have the star in reverse. Ooh, interesting. Oh, okay, right, okay. So I sense that any boss or any people okay, no, let me rephrase this. Any people who think themselves in a leadership position. So we all had those Steves or those Karens, or no offense if you guys are called Steve or Karens, but you know what I mean? I feel almost slightly aggressive towards you, and I'm sorry, but I'm just picking up this energy. I feel like any person in your team or your work environment who thinks that they're the boss, and they could be little Sharon who's like 17 and comes in thinking they know everything, right? One of those types where there's like, excuse me, you're doing it wrong, or like, actually, I am the leader. Almost like that kind of like, oh, it just reminds me of that video, and most people wouldn't have seen this, but I don't know, but it's one of those like viral videos of that kind of girl And then it was like a high school video, like a video with these high schoolers, and they got given a certain amount of money, and they had to choose between, like, I think it was like the 8 of them or something who would get the money. And it's just this one girl just like, I do Buddha, I meditate daily. And what I'm trying to say very inarticulately is that I feel like this, you just set off people again, but like in the opposite way. So rather than people like finding their own path, this is like almost like, oh, like why do they have to be good at this, or why do they have better opinions than me, or like, why do they think they're better than me? Like, you set off people's insecurities in work. Not everyone, but I am picking up an energy where it's like someone who's very insecure has to kind of like try and put a power move on you and put you in your place and be like, I'm the leader here, even though they're not. So this doesn't have to be your boss. This is someone in your workspace who thinks they're the boss. Almost like in Bridget Jones's Diary, where it's like Perpetua, that kind of like, oh, the love's in reverse, yeah. Kind of like Perpetua. Excuse me. My throat track is closing up. You know Perpetua, like Bridget's like, Perpetua. Slightly senior than me and thinks that she's better than me, the boss of me or something like that. Like, it reminds me of that energy. I mean, a lot of you may be self-employed, so this won't resonate for everyone. And we have the Judgment. But I'm just gonna I'll do self-employed in a minute. I think I'll do self-employed down here, and that could be about your clients and stuff like that. But the people who work in a workforce, yeah, you trigger someone, or maybe even multiple people, but you just trigger someone and they just really don't like the fact that you are just, like, look at the sun, right? Look at the face, very unbothered. You're like, yeah, okay, keep waving your flag, girl, like red flags all over the place. You just ride, like, you ride on your high horse, and they're like the person who's kind of like being all angsty over you in your presence. So just let them burn out. That makes, you know what I mean? Like, you're very much like detached from it. Like, yeah, karmic justice will get you in the end. Like, not like that in an evil way, but like, you know what I mean? It's like you know that they're just blowing their own horn for the sake of it. And alright, bye Felicia, that kind of energy, you know what I mean? I feel very sassy with this pile. Anyway, with the Judgment, but a lot of people like you. So I mean, I do think you are quite well liked in the office. So just that one little shush, what am I gonna call them? That one little Squidward in the back who just can't handle your presence or something. I don't know. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. But I just feel like you're just doing your own thing in the workplace. If you're someone who's like in customer base or client based, they like you. I think you're definitely someone who comes across as quite homely and quite positive. They view you as someone who's quite welcoming and warm, so that's nice. And we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So you're quite sure of yourself. You come across as someone who knows what they're doing, basically. Very confident. I think your boss sees you, hopefully everyone, but yeah, definitely feel like your boss sees you as someone who can advance up in the company or the workplace. Someone who can also ultimately be the boss position or be like a manager position. Perhaps you get promoted very easily, or like you find that like you could be their favorite and you don't even realize. If you are self-employed, let's have a look. How do your clients view you? Emperor. Oh, so again, someone who Empress. Haha. Jeez, you guys are strong, aren't you? Oh, money, yes. Okay, the clients, they see you in safe hands. You have, you have the Strength card, Infinity card. Again, your crown chakra is working. You care about people. Perhaps you're very good at Reiki or like your hands. Doesn't matter like what business you're in. You're just very, very capable. Almost, I think you're very good gardeners as well, off topic. But you nurture people, you listen to them, you take a strong leadership position when you need to, and I think they feel very prosperous with you. So this is all great. You guys are just amazing. I love this pile. I was a little bit unsure because obviously when we're doing a pick of cards, when we set the pile, why am I saying we? Me and my shadow. When I set the piles, you kind of get a sense of what kind of pile. So I know that pile 3 is going to be like a very loving pile, and pile 2 is going to be like my kind of like wild cow pile or something like that. But pile 1 I was a little bit like nervous about. I thought, oh, I hope I get something. But I mean, you guys have just been so easy, so clear-cut communication. What's that like? What's clear communication like? Okay, right. We're gonna move on now to school. If you guys are still in school or university, hello. If not, just skip ahead. Or perhaps you want to know what people thought of you when you were in school. Don't miss that, I'll tell you that much. Good old school. Oh. Right. Impartiality. Isolation. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Just bear with me, my loves. This is going to be an interesting one. Blue? What am I talking about? Blue. Pincushion. I mourn your absence. Interesting. Grief. Peace. So you know how I said perhaps you guys have been through a lot in your past? I feel like maybe school might have been a triggering place for you. I'm just surmising here. I want to get all the details. Frog again. Oh, we have Froggy. Just can't stay away, can it? Slippery suckers. Oh, and the bobcat energy. Okay. I hope you guys want bullies in school. That's just for a select few of you. No, it's not going to be everyone. I don't want you to be like, Lucy, I wasn't a bully. Like, okay, whatever. Peace and love. You want a bully. But like, I feel like some of you, my little, who's watching, might have been a bit snarky, a bit sassy. Perhaps you didn't even want to be there. You probably thought it wasn't even worth my time. But again, I'm surmising. I don't know until I get the full picture. Okay, well, okay. How people saw you is someone you do not... Yeah, okay. I feel like how people saw you... This is a mess, sorry. They do not want to mess with you at all. So let's just go back from the beginning, okay? Right. Okay. I'm gonna pop you here. So, I feel like people, with this isolation card and impartiality, I feel like you probably did come across in school, or perhaps if you still are in school, university, maybe not uni, I think I'm going to skip university, I think I'm going to go straight to school. So, you know, primary, high school, and if you're American, I don't know how it works, something like kindergarten and like, not kindergarten, I don't know how the school works, I'm sorry, I don't know what you call them. Maybe you can tell me in the comments, I don't know what you call that, but like, you know, when you're like, I don't know, 11 to 17, 18, I feel like you come across as very intimidating to some people, very intimidating. I mean, I think you're a bit of a heartbreaker, 100%, because we have I mourn your absence, and that doesn't have to necessarily be, okay, no, but Spirit is telling me that people who are interested in your gender, or just your energy, they would have seen you as someone who's a bit of a tease, bit of a heartbreaker. Even if you weren't aware of it, that's what I'm picking up. That's what Spirit's telling me. You know what I mean? Someone who's, oh my god, Spirit, I can't say that. Someone's a bit of a cock tease, you know what I mean? But like, whatever. Okay. And there's like a little bit of like a little, I don't know, like stay away kind of energy here. You guys are so nice. But yeah, I do feel like, oh, I wouldn't want to... You kind of remind me of someone I went to school with. She's coming to my mind, and she wasn't a friend of mine. But she was quite popular, and everyone like really liked her, and super sweet. But she gave off kind of like... She almost gave nothing. Like, she gave nothing. If that makes sense. But everyone wanted to be around her. I don't know why I'm mentioning her. Like, I'm being nice. Like, I mean, I'm sure she was lovely once you get to know her. But like, from an outsider's perspective, who wasn't in the friend group, I saw her and I was like, okay, like yes queen, give me nothing kind of like energy. And like I feel like you just had that kind of like with that almost like bubble energy going on here. I feel like you just went about your day, like you just went about your life as this emperor empress energy. So someone, I would say quite popular, but even if you weren't popular, people would be like, oh, that person is well put together and blah blah blah. And like it's tough because I mean I'm picking up a lot of energies in this group, so it's kind of tough to like pinpoint. I got some people may view themselves as wasn't popular, and some people probably would view themselves as popular. And but either way, I just feel like the overarching energy is it's like you just minded your own business, and people kind of thought, okay, like very difficult to read in high school, very difficult to read. I feel like not as open as you may think you were. I just think you were just protecting your own energy, and like you just didn't really feed into the whole like I've got to present myself a certain way, or like you don't like I say, I don't know. I'm struggling with this one, with the school one, like because you again with the bobcat, life is a mystery. You're a mystery. You were a mystery in school. People did not know how to class you. You were friends with the people you friends with, or like you had a big group of friends, or this is how people are seeing you, right? So even if it's not what you think is true, people just saw you as a big group of friends, but like you were just one of the people who just like won the mystery and just can't pin you down. It really frustrated them. Or like they just thought, okay, so who is this person? I don't even know who this person is, kind of like vibe. Like they saw you and just like, I don't know you, like you don't give me anything. And I don't, interesting why. But the frog spirit, remember I said earlier, how you attracted a lot of frogs? That could be also in relation to people at school. So people, yeah, were probably hypnotized by you, but you attracted a lot of those kind of like slimy people. Maybe you attracted the wrong type of friends in school, or they just had the wrong energy, or we had like a lot of measly little people come up to you and be like, what up? Want to hang out later after school? And you're like, who are you? I don't even know your mother's name. That kind of energy. But we have freedom and we have radiance. Some of you may have left school because, you know, you've a bit of a waste of time, like you already know what you want to do and you just went out and did it. But I feel like with radiance, like I said, once you get past the choppy waters, beautiful heart energy, loving energy, you probably didn't even realize that people saw you as a mystery. This is probably why I'm struggling a little bit, because most of you would be like, wait, what? I don't resonate with this. But this is how people's first impressions are you, right? So people saw you as a mystery and be like, oh, okay, this person, like, what is this? And it just seems like throughout your whole life, you're presented as this kind of almost like, ooh, mysterious girl. And then suddenly it's just like beautiful, loving energy, vibes. Like a dark horse, there we go, a dark horse energy. But I mean, you had a lot of partnerships and alliances, definitely. You made friends with different types of people, different types of walks of life almost. When you had firm, solid foundations with you. And with the solar plexus energy, with emotions, this is a very given person, I feel like. Then we have the Queen of Swords, so again, the Death card. Almost like, I mean, like, if you were a bully in high school, like, fair enough, but I definitely do feel like you've learned from it now. For some of you, some people just didn't want to mess around with you. You see how, like, there's people on the floor, like, fainting? Like, oh, I don't want to go near this person. Like, oh my god, the energy's too much. And some people just, like, bowing in reverence, and you're just, like, on your horse, like, why is everyone... It's almost like you walk into a room and everyone just suddenly, like, either, like, looks away and, like, bows out, or some people just, like, fall at your feet and it's like, hello, like, how are you? Obsessive energy. It's like Scorpio energy again. And you're just sitting there and you're just like, wait, why is everyone so obsessed with me? But, like, even if you didn't think that, from an outsider's perspective, it's like, wait, why is everyone so obsessed with this person? But yeah, you're probably just sitting on your throne just like, I just want to get work done, girl. Like, I just want to be here, get in, get out kind of energy. And people are just like, oh, she's a queen. Or that person's a queen. Doesn't matter about the gender. Just like, that person's so great. That's what I pick up with school. Interesting. I mean, that was a bit of a mess, wasn't it? But different energies going on. What can I say? Okay. We're gonna move on now to... What are we moving on to? Random people on the street. Hello, random people on the street. Let's see what they think about you. You're just shutting yourself. You're walking to the bus. And let's see what people... Joe over the road says. I get the energy of like, oh, that person's nice. I think, again, with potential romantic relationships, someone who thinks that you're very good looking, they start to like, imagine like a world with you, like oh, okay, so how are you gonna fit into my world? Like, oh, okay, well, that person looks nice. Like, I could take that person home to my mama, or like I could take that person home to my caregiver or whatever. With the moon, again, the mystery elements coming in here. Yeah, people again like intuitively pick up that you are very strong in your intuition, like you are very strong in your psychic abilities. We have a lot of moon energy going on here. So if I split the deck, we have the devil again. So people can get a little bit obsessed with you, I feel like, and the world. So again, yeah, the same kind of card energies really. At the bottom of the deck, we have again 6 of Cups. I shuffle these, I swear. So people start imagining like a future with you, like if it's like a romantic, you know, a romantic relationship, people can get a little bit obsessed with like, oh, I like that person's, what the person's style is, or I like that person's fit, or like I like that person's confidence, you know? What else have we got? Power and prosperity begin. Yeah, so you see how we have like 2 towers, and then 2 towers in the background. So interesting symbolism. Oh no, I can't say that. That's really horrible. Okay, I was going to say something about the 2 towers in New York, but you know, like almost like a symbolically, almost like a crumbling for some people. So like, you just trigger people in the most karmic way, and it happens everywhere in your life. At work, with your potential romantic relationships, down the street, you just kind of had that energy, very, very powerful energy. So yeah, beautiful. I hope you enjoyed that reading. My beautiful power number 1. You are obviously number 1 in life, which is great. It's what you want to hear, isn't it? But yeah, so thank you so much, and I hope to see you in another reading. Bye! I have chosen the clear quartz crystal. Beautiful for cleansing energy, and I feel like with you, my beautiful power show, you have a lot going on. My god. So right now, we're going to do an energy check. This is just to see if this palette is for you or not. Just like another level of confirmation before we go and look in to see people's first impressions of you. So palette number 2. Very interesting. You guys are my wild card pile, if that makes sense. Very hard to pin down. But you're almost like still waters, but underneath there's so much going on. You have so much depth to you. You've experienced a lot. I feel like there's almost like, not trauma, but like a lot of heavy experiences in your life, or you've been through so much already that the average person may not have been through. There's a lot of Kundalini energy happening here. I do feel a very strong present crystalline energy with you guys. So you have beautiful, beautiful energy in the 5D sense, but your 3D life has been quite turbulent, because this clear quartz, this was actually bigger. There's another part to it, but it fell, and now it's, as you see it now, it's jagged, but it's still beautiful, it's still cleansing, it still does the job, but it has been through a lot, this stone. Yeah, and I feel like that is representative of you guys, and I've done this intro a billion times, and I just couldn't get my voice right, so I feel like in your life it's been quite up and down, turbulent, like you've been through a lot. So yeah, let's turn over your card. We have foundation, but it keeps going in reverse, and I keep pulling it back. So it feels like almost that you have been through, you have such strong self-perseverance that every time you get knocked down, which is more than most people, you turn it back around again. And that is a testament to your fortitude. Anyway, so we have foundation. Foundation is what the castle of your soul is built upon. And I feel like your foundation has been crumbled a bit. And like I said, if this doesn't resonate with you, then obviously this pile isn't yours, and perhaps pile 3 is your pile. Because I sense that some of you guys was probably stuck between this one and pile 3. So yeah, but you guys are definitely the ones, almost like a rock, you're solid, but you've been battered by the weather, but you have not crumbled. Anyway, we're gonna do some tarot just to see your energy check, and then, like I said, we'll go into people's first impressions. Okay, so Spirit. Pile number 2. I think I'm just gonna focus on 1. Okay. I mean, you guys are quite deep thinkers. You are probably more of the rather than the how did this happen type of people. You're like the, okay, so why did this happen? What made this happen? Let's think about this. Let's dive deeper than just the what's in front of you answers. You want to know the inner workings. That's what I feel like with you. Okay, right, let's pull one more. Brown bear. Yeah, you guys are almost difficult to read in a sense. I want to also pull the bottom one as well. I find you guys quite difficult, but I feel like it's because perhaps you guys are a little bit more slow to open up to people, just because you have been quite a lot and you've almost built this shroud of protection energy around you. You can come across as quite startling to people in the sense of, okay, like I sense this person's been through a lot. There's some people may pick up on your grief, I'm hearing from Spirit, but that they're only the people who are spiritually aligned and use their spiritual abilities on a daily basis, or like quite often are in tune with their spiritual abilities. But I feel like for the average person, they might think, oh, okay, difficult to read. Almost kind of similar to Power 1. But we had the Brown Bear Spirit, take time out. Yeah, so the Brown Bear Spirit definitely, as we know, brown bears can be quite fierce in the wild, but they are very protective of their young. They're very protective of themselves, very resourceful. And I feel like you guys have just been through so much. I feel like with foundation, it's almost like for some of you, and not everyone, but for some of you, you guys have had to leave home situations or environments that really do not serve you, that did not encourage who you truly are. I think deep down you've always been a philosopher, someone who is into theology, someone who's a ponderer, a wanderer, likes to go off, likes to travel, and perhaps your home life hasn't always been that way, or the people around you in your environment have always kind of been like homebodies, or they don't ask the bigger questions, and you guys have left that place and you're now finding your own home, your own stability, your own foundation, which is nurturing to your higher interest. If I were to class you, I would say you're the kind of archetype, the philosopher archetype, 100%. Yeah, so with the Knight of Wands, we have someone who is taking charge. But the King of Wands is someone who is, of course, mature and is quite comfortable sitting on the throne, and they know their own energy and they're quite comfortable with, but they're grounded, they're sitting on the throne. With the Knight of Wands, I feel like you guys are king, like you could be king, you have that kind of like mindset, but you want to get going, you want to travel, you want to see the world, you want to explore it, you want to actively partake in your creative endeavors. And with the Ten of Wands, it feels like this is like almost like your past, like this is burdens that aren't worth carrying. Like I said, with the foundations, like you just want to leave, you just want to go off. And I do feel like perhaps, I always feel like with the Two of Swords, I mean, normally in tarot it's indicative of, is that a word? Indicative? It is now. Of being stuck between two things, like a crossroads. But I feel like with you guys, this symbolism is slightly different. It's almost like you're wielding the swords and you're kind of cutting people who don't serve you out of your life. It's almost like you're cutting energetic ties and past life karmic energy, and you're just cutting it out, and you're almost like started afresh and traveled, and you've been, or you're going to go and set your own path and probably going to be the first one in your family line to do that. There's something here about you are kind of like the wild card of the family, which is why I said you are my wild pal. You guys have done something that people in your family have not done. And that could be that perhaps they weren't very spiritual and you are. That it could be as simple as that, or it could be that you decided to major in art and they never have. Like maybe they're more practical, or maybe it's the opposite and they're more kind of like roamers and travelers and you want to be more practical. There's something about it where you've gone against the grain. That's why I keep hearing of pile number 2, against the grain. They're different. You are different. And with the brown bear, we'll just read it out. It does take time to focus on yourself. So right now, I feel like you guys have been focusing on yourself. You have been for a while. You've been in that sort of like hibernation period where you can heal your heart. You can take time for yourself, really nurture, get to know who you are. Because we have the feathers in the background. It reminds me of the crow and the crow symbolism. We do have the white raven here. It's almost like they go hand in hand. Like it's like you're cultivating your spiritual gifts. And 666, I mean, obviously you have 666, which is the devil energy, but if you believe in that kind of stuff. But it's almost kind of like, you know, the devil energy is more like things that don't serve you, like toxic ties. But this 1 and 6 is gone, so it's almost like you've cleared that out. And now you're trusting in spirit and you're trusting in your own spiritual abilities, basically. So yeah. We had take time out, there is time to act and a time to focus your attention on patient strategizing. The arrival of brown bear spirit signals that you are best served by foregoing hard work towards your goal at this moment and instead taking the time out to meditate. But I feel like that's probably what you could be going for, that kind of like your cleansing energy right now. But I feel like for some of you, the majority of you, that's in your past. That's what you've been. It almost feels like a mature energy here. So not so much in age, but just so much in your soul age. Like, so I'm guessing you guys are old spirits. You've reincarnated quite a few times in your life and you've decided to cut those ties. You've learnt those lessons and you're trusting in yourself and in spirit. So let's see what the white raven has to say. You guys are definitely difficult to read. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's definitely, I have to kind of myself cut through quite a lot of the energy that you've put up, almost like the fortress. I've been knocking on the door and no one's answering, so I'm gonna have to go in and force my way in just to read your guys' energy, which is fine, you know. I mean, you guys have been through a lot and I understand that. But yeah, so we have trust and magic. Nothing in the universe is random, for the intricate web of co-creation weaves together all events and has done so since the beginning of time. Coincidences have meaning, and the white raven spirit appears to remind you to pay attention to these synchronicities so that you might recognize patterns. Even the winds dance in a pattern, participating in magic of spirit's plan for all, align with the highest good and intentions. So yeah, you guys are definitely you're going through that bit. Like I said, Kundalini energy seems very present here. So yeah, that is our energy check. So hopefully that resonated, and then we're going to move on to how people see you. So first off, we're going to do potential romantic relationships. So this is people who are interested in you sexually or romantically, and this is going to be their first impressions of you. All right, pile number 2. Queen of Cups. Kings, King and Queen, very regal energy here. Pile number 2. Ooh, bountiful. So you are definitely someone. Oh, Magician. Okay, this is great. Awesome. So you guys are definitely someone that everyone wants, I'm hearing. You have a beautiful balance of emotional and mental going on. You're in touch with the divine feminine and the masculine and everything in between. Like, you just seem to be having it all. And that can be, do you know what? I actually don't get a sense that potential romantic relationships are that intimidated by you. I think they're more in awe of you. They think, my God, you can create anything. They imagine having a life with you. They imagine, I would definitely say that they have a natural instinct to picking up that you would be the person to wear the pants in a relationship. You know, that kind of archaic saying, but whatever. You're the kind of one that would take charge and know what to do. You're someone who is grounded, knowledgeable, but I don't get the sense that they're scared of you. In pile 1, they were scared. Pile 2, they just in awe that you inspire them. You inspire a lot of people. You have it together. You're put together. You look well. You dress well. All eyes are on you. You can create anything. You're knowledgeable. You have knowledge, basically, about everything. You're softly spoken, but you're well spoken. They hither your words. I think that's. They take notice, basically. Perhaps some of you have dogs, and the first thing they see is your dogs when they go out, and then they look at you and think, oh wow, okay, this person is wise, and this person is knowledgeable, and like, oh my gosh, yeah, beautiful energy. We'll pull some more. What more am I going to pull next? Sticky everlasting. My love will not leave you. Okay, so definitely, I do think power number 2. I do think, like again, we have the yellow here, which is very emotional in the sense of the chakra, so the solar plexus and stuff. I do think you smell great, first off, but you're the type of person to leave a long-lasting impression. I think an everlasting impression. Oh yeah, oh we have everlasting right there. Okay, never mind. I don't feel like they're going to get obsessed with you, but I do feel like, here you go, I do feel like if say you have past romantic relationships, they will not stop thinking about you. But I think it's more like a fondness. Even if you guys had a turbulent relationship and a turbulent ending, or the person ghosted you, or whatever situation it was, I do think they still look back and think of you very fondly. Almost like an everlasting, yeah, I keep saying everlasting, it's right there, isn't it? Almost like, you know, it's never ending, basically. Like, they will always care for you, always love you. And I do feel like people's romantic relationships, first impressions, they think, okay, this is going to be someone who won't leave my memory, or won't, it will basically, you burn them, you know what I mean? It's almost like that freaking Bridgerton quote, I burn for you and they'll burn for you forever, if that makes sense. Very long lasting. Interesting. I mean, good for you. Rather be that than not be that. Okay, pattern 2. Abundance. God, you guys, look, with 10 of Pentacles and then with abundance, I definitely think people think you have a very healing, yeah, fruitful relationship with you guys. They want to be with you. Everyone thinks positively of you. You guys are good looking. You guys are put together. You know what you want. Perhaps you're quite advanced in your career, or you come across that way. You know exactly who you are. You have a lot of love to give, and they pick up on that energetically. They look at you. I'm looking at the petals here, the white petals with the abundance card. I do feel like, oh, Spirit, for God's sake. Sorry. Spirit again said this in power 1. You guys have a nice ass. Good for you. If you are male, you have the great ass. If you're female, you have the perfect everything for them. Very beautiful. I feel very clear skin, very nourishing looking. Nourishing? Is that going to be a word to describe someone? It is now. It's nourishing, appealing energy, looks, flowy hair, glossy, like just the perfect person, really. You are quite a healing person in relationships, and they pick that up. Very heart-centered, very wise and knowledgeable, probably healing more so with your voice. Your throat chakra seems to be coming up, so I'm just going to pull more chakra cards and see what comes up. But I do think your throat is quite prominent. Fertility, again, we have a lot of creation. See, so you guys are very creative. They probably pick up as well that they can create a great abundant life with you. So that is what people's first romantic impressions are. That makes sense. So people who are romantically interested in you. Beautiful, beautiful. Right. I also think you guys are quite sarcastic and funny as well. Because for some reason I keep hearing that Chris Rock joke before he got a little bit slapped in the Oscars. Was it G.I. Jane 2? Can't wait to see it. You're almost like off the cuff sense of humour. I don't know why that came into my head. That's okay. Right. So now we're going to look at potential friendships. So these are people who want to be friends with you, or people that you're interested in being friends with. We've got the Emperor that flew out. So you're definitely going to be... Oh, and a star. So yeah. Oh no, her titties have fallen off. Hold on. I don't want to get demonetized, someone's going to be like that. So I've been giving people like little gemstone stuff to cover up their lady parts and their man parts, but we're just gonna do that. There we go. Yeah, you're definitely a dream come true when it comes to friendships. You're a very giving person, but you are someone who knows who they are and won't take any crap. Page of Swords. You're someone who definitely is standing up to your... Oh, hold on. There we go. Again, we have the little gem titties. Beautiful. Yeah. Ooh, okay, for some of you, maybe not all of you guys have experienced that, but for some of you, I think your friendships, people just, they love you so much with the lovers, but I do feel like maybe perhaps some friends in the past have tried to come out of the friend zone with you and become more. I feel like they are a little bit enamored with you, and it could be sexually for some. Perhaps you've been friends with them and suddenly they're like, oh, I have a huge crush on you, or like or maybe it could be just be like they have like a they could be like, oh, I have a little man crush on you, or like a little girl crush on you. Like, it's not like overtly sexual, but for some it could be. I don't know, it's interesting. They just definitely they probably also wish that you were female, because you could be like their soulmate. That makes sense. Like, they probably might say to you, oh, I wish, so like, say if it's like two women, right, and you're both straight, and your friend's like, God, I wish you were a man, because damn, we're soulmates and we would be married by now. Perhaps it's kind of like that energy. And with the Star, perfect. You're very giving, you give as much as you take. You're just very knowledgeable. Like, you come in, you swoop in like a very wise wizened owl, and you give them great advice. But you also know that if it is too much of a taking situation, that you're giving and they're taking, you know how to now stand up for yourself and say, I need good boundaries. Yeah, but you're definitely kind of more practical, grounded one. Especially with the Emperor, you know exactly your own mind, and you will stand up for it, and people will see you like that. Like, especially first impressions, people see you as confident. That's just the word that's coming to my mind. Confident. Let's see what else we can get. Oops. And that fell to the ground. We've got intuition. Yeah, so again, you give great advice, and you know when someone comes towards you that, okay, this person's not for me, goodbye. Or this person, oh, I like this person, that's nice. You have a shield as well. So like I said, people who are like energetic vampires, they can't really get through to your energy. You have like a barrier up. It's almost like, no, bye, and then they walk off. Like, they might stare at you for a bit and think, oh, it's nice energy, but they can't take anything from you. You won't allow people to take from your energy. No. Very strong like that. So when people come up to you, if they don't meet the high level energy that you're putting out, then no bueno, see you later. Okay, so the one that fell on the floor, memories of love. So you cultivate people, and I do think perhaps in the past you attracted people who needed to be cultivated, who needed almost like the quite delicate types of friendships, if that makes sense. Like, you almost have to like kind of keep the flame going inside them. They're very delicate, but you have healing abilities and like your words and your actions, and you kind of like reignite the flame in people in your friendships, if that makes sense. So say for example, you have a friend who is feeling a bit lost in life. Your wisdom and your guidance and healing, I don't know why I'm doing that, sorry. Your guidance and healing definitely have brought them back to life and reignited them, and you almost like set them free. Like, you cultivate them and you set them free, and they go off and they know who they are. Like, you help them to find themselves again, it feels like, or find their true talents. You're a nurturer, basically. Right, what else am I picking up? This is people's first impressions as well, but for some reason I kind of want to focus on like your current, or like your people who are already in your life. perseverance. So like I was just saying, you nurture people, you help people, and in turn, spirit helps you to keep going with that energy that you're bringing into your friendship. They help preserve you, so you can almost help others, or they come in and they detach people who are taking too much from you. Like this interesting ragged old garment, it's gone from the woman's beautiful dress, right? It's gone, it's been cut off, and that spirit, so they probably, you might have seen a theme where people who just take, like you give and you give, but they're just taking and taking and they're not doing anything with it, and then just kind of sit there and they kind of like wallow in their own misery. The spirit then comes in after a time and goes, okay, this person is not healing, time to let them go. And like, you might have had a few friendships like that throughout your period of life. But yeah, the first impressions, I do think people are just very much in awe of you. Beautiful, lovely. Okay, now we're going to move on to career. So, sorry, that's a weird way of saying career. Your work environment. How do workmates, customers, bosses. I'm going to do a self-employed section at the bottom, and then at the top is going to be like if you work in like a work environment with other people. Okay. Beautiful, lovely. Right. Pile number 2. Oh, okay, right. Do you want to come out, or I'm going to put them back? I don't know how people do this. They kind of split it and then they just kind of go like this. Is that right? No, that's not right, is it? Sorry, I'm letting... Oh, hold on. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. Like this. Ready? That failed. Okay, whatever. Who cares? We'll work on it. Alright, pile number 2, pile number 2, pile number 2. Turkey lurkey and a porcupine. Ooh, ooh. Ooh. Okay. So you have the owl spirit coming when I split the deck. Right, interesting. You guys are meant to be leaders. You guys are not gonna be the type of people who just sit in the background and let other people do all the work, or you're not gonna be a squanderer. Spirit have said you guys are more than natural leaders. You guys are natural pathfinders. You pave the way. You oh my god, okay. You're meant for so much more, that's what Spirit's saying. You are meant for greatness. That's what I'm hearing, honestly. You're meant to go where many people don't go. You delve, that whole delving deep energy is coming back, almost like a Scorpio energy. Like I said, you come on a surface, but underneath so much going on, and you guys are meant to delve deep. Whatever that means to you, take that as that resonates. But you see how the owl spirit has a crown on them, and they're wise, and they know that, and they're very sure of who they are, and they can just take flight whenever they want. It's almost like you guys are just meant for so much more. And I feel like if you work in an environment with lots of people, they sense that you are the one to come to. Perhaps you're someone who they're often like, oh, say your name's Dave. Oh, Dave, I don't know what to do with this situation. Like, what do I do? And you're just like, blah, 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 blah. That's what you do. And like, oh, I couldn't see that. Oh, thank you so much. And then they take all the credit and you're like, what the hell? Or like, you just, the kind of one in the office who's like much more mature than the other ones. And it feels like perhaps in a work office you work with a lot of David Brents, you know, from the Office, the UK version, or if you're American then Michael Scott. You work with a lot of these kind of like interesting, like really odd people, like the Dwights and the Michaels and the Kevins. But you're more like an Oscar, and you're just like very wise, but like you have a little sassy humour to you. But yeah, they have the porcupine spirit as well. So you see how like like it feels like you will fight back, and people see that in a work environment. Say someone new's coming in and they see you for the first time, they will see you as someone who's wise, but they also see you as someone who can like fight back and be a little bit like prickly with them if they double cross you, or if they try and take your thunder. You know, you don't suffer the fools lightly, if that makes sense. You also have a turkey spirit, so it's almost like an abundance, because with turkey and Thanksgiving it's all about, you know, being thankful and grateful. So I do feel like you are a bit of a nurturer as well. You take people under your wing if you like the person, you want to see them do well. Yeah, so no, you are very giving to those who you like, you want to nurture, you want to see them do well. But I feel like you guys are meant for so much more. You're meant to kind of do something that not everyone does. And Spirit's being a little bit vague with that, but that's just the answer. I think you would know that within yourself. Let's see what else we have. What else should I pull, Spirit? What should I pull? Discovery. Oh my god! Sorry. I knew it. Soulmate. Interesting. But look at all this. Look at Discovery. I said this. Thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation. Yeah, you're meant to go off. And just, I think you're meant to go off alone. And when you go off alone, you're going to meet, or you're going to amass a massive following of people who are like-minded. It's almost like you're going to do something or say something, or like your message is very profound and new and different. And people are going to respond for that. From all walks of life, different walks of life. So perhaps maybe social media is prevalent with you guys, or something to do with a spiritual aspect or wellness aspect going on here. Or maybe you're writing something that's very profound, or you're going to be a guru, or you're traveling. There's something there that is just, you're meant to do it alone. But of course you're not always alone, you have Spirit in the background guiding you. But I feel like, you see how it's like little like, I'm not sure you can see the face of that little flower. It's almost like they're going to be your followers, like, oh, I love you so much. Don't know why I'm doing that, sorry, that weird voice. And you're just here and you trust Spirit, you've taken the leap of faith, you've done it, you've gone out. You're following your heart's message. So you know within yourself, or you will know soon, what this message is, what you're meant to be doing. Because I don't feel like the work environment with lots of people around you is something that you should be doing. You shouldn't work for other people, that's what I'm saying. And if that doesn't resonate, then fine, all good, do what you love, but there's something here. It could just be like maybe you're a lawyer and you need to start your own practice, or a doctor and you need to start your own little practice as well. It's something like that. Inspiration, yeah, you're so inspirational. People see that at first impressions, but I also want to carry that through. I think first impressions are the right impressions with you guys in the work environment. People, it feels like it matches up. You know how some people's first impressions could be wrong, and Power One, people kind of were a bit intimidating, but underneath they're very loving and giving. You guys seem to be carrying through the energy. People's first impression of you is the right impression, if that makes sense. But you, yeah, again, I'm receiving divine inspiration. It's something to do with the divine. So you could be tarot readers, you could be spiritualists, whatever it is, it's metaphysical. Interesting. I feel like I want to talk more about your career. Like, so that's probably, career is probably quite important to you. Blue. Pinkation. I mourn your absence. I hold space for grief and live bravely. Perhaps it's in the past. Like perhaps work, maybe you've always been in environments that doesn't serve you, and you're like, actually no, I'm getting from Spirit, that is people, if you've been through different types of jobs, co-workers remember you still. Again, it's kind of like that energy that I picked up, was it in the relationship ones, where it's even the romantic one or the friendship one, it was where people, like you're burned into people's memories. And it's the same with the career. They're like, oh, I miss working with such and such, like they were such good fun. Like you guys just have that energy where people like miss you constantly, like all the time. Yeah, okay, so that is for your career. And let's now go into school. So if you guys at school or at uni, then great. If not, skip ahead and I will see you in the random people on the street section. Okay, cool. So my schoolies, my people in education. Also, but at the same time, if you want to know how people did see you back in school, if you've already left school and uni, then stick around. What am I doing with my hand? I don't know. Oh, Jesus, they're flying out. Right, the devil. The devil. Oh, you had some teachers who were not nice to you, girl. Sorry, girl. I don't know why I'm saying girl. The devil. Right. I think you've had some people, some teachers, perhaps, who did, first of all, before I even start going off on one, look at the titties on that devil. Beautiful glitter. Anyway, I do feel like you've had some people, tutors or teachers who, first impression thought, my God, this person's going to be a nightmare. Perhaps you were a challenge to these teachers, or they perceived you as a challenge because maybe you kept asking questions, or you played up in school, or there's something about you that just kind of like set them off. Like maybe you weren't obedient, or maybe you had such high intelligence that they were just like, oh Christ, I just want you to fall back in line. That's what it feels like for me. Take it how it resonates. We have the world though. So I do feel like people, in terms of friendships, definitely saw you as someone to be. Maybe you were the it person, or people just you had a lot of friends, or you kind of like accumulated different friends from all sorts of walks of life. You weren't, perhaps maybe even if you were in a clique, you didn't really believe in that whole like grouping people together, and you liked being friends with who you just liked being friends with. Like you wouldn't just be friends with one type of person, you'd be friends with multiple types of people. Or perhaps you had lots of interest in schools. So people knew that you could be the theatre kid, you could be the drama kid, the sporty kid, you know, the kind of the all, like, jack of all trades, master of all kind of vibes going on here. We had the Two of Swords, so perhaps you had to, I mean, for some of you could have moved schools a bit, or perhaps it could just be, people see you as like, they don't really, like, I feel like, again, there's that kind of energy of, you could, I do feel like a little bit more intimidated with you guys in this pile, so perhaps people in school were intimidated by you, or like, I felt like the people who were insecure would feel more insecure around you. Your type of that mirror energy happening here. Yeah, I feel like, I feel like, to be honest, I don't even want to talk about them. They feel insignificant. I think to you, just like, oh, whatever. If you don't like me, you don't like me. Like, I'm Marmite kind of vibes, you know what I mean? We had the Three of Wands. Of course they're wands, yeah. I'm just thinking that I do feel like you guys probably had, like, I think you prefer to have, like, a few groups of friends. Like, you have, like, maybe, like, 2 or 3 or, you know, like, or 4, like, a close-knit friend group. And you're just happy with you and your boys, or you and your girls, or whatever, or them, you're just happy having that kind of like close relationships. But people see you as someone who is friendly with everyone, or can be quite intimidated by you, like, because they can be quite insecure, so you set off people's insecurities. And that's what happens when you know, have the kind of energy that you guys have. We have the Star, not her again, but she's in reverse. The Star again in reverse. Get the crystal out, come on, there we go. So I do feel like maybe if you were like a theatre drama person, or like into like plays and stuff, perhaps people were just like, oh, why is that person got in that role? Or like, why is that person so well liked? I don't get it. Why is that person like the greatest person? Like, blah blah blah. Why does everyone like you? Like, I don't get it. Like, or maybe like, oh, this person doesn't fit in. Like, I don't get it. Maybe it's like kind of like energy on first impressions. Like, I don't understand why everyone's like so enamored by this person. These are the insecure people. Yeah. Just ignore them. Honestly, they're very insignificant. Okay, what else have we got? How to people see you at school. Patience and planning. But I also feel like you maybe you liked history in school. Maybe you just liked the kind of like more interest. We have fertility again. Are you guys like super fertile or something? Interesting. Maybe you got pregnant in school or something, or like, or whatever it is. Regardless. Anyway, that's gonna be for a few of you, not everyone. But I do feel like you guys, again, operating in your heart space. You guys have this kind of like aura going on. So, but it's also very giving. So very powerful, in your power. You had that energy since high school, or uni or school or whatever. But with the patience and planning, I do think this is more kind of to do with like ancient studies. So perhaps you guys were always interested in ancient knowledge, or kind of like murder mysteries, or like just things that are like more mysterious to you, rather than like things currently going on. You guys are more interested in like what's going to happen in the future, the space aspect, and then what's happened in the past. You're kind of like one of those types of people. At least in first impressions. And then we have enlightenment. So you guys have always been this guru energy. Amazing. Incredible. Okay, right. Okay, where am I going to put you? There you go. Let's move on to the last one, which is random people on the street. How are they viewing you? You could be on the bus, you could just be shopping, and these are people who are on the street, and you know, sometimes they look at you and you're wondering, how do they see me? Well, let's go and find out, shall we, my loves? Pile 2. Okay, I just saw 4141. Look that up, that's an angel number. Oh, I'm hearing 2 different songs. In my heart, yeah. A rhythmic song which I can't sing because she runs all over the place in that song. Be an angel. So you're an angel. Oh my god, people see you as an angel. They see you down the street, man, woman, non-gender, whatever. You're an angel. They think, my god, who is this? And I also heard something else, but I can't remember, but I'm sure it'll come back to me. But it was something similar as well. Oh yeah, there she goes again. That song. That's, okay, yeah, interesting. We have the moon. Yeah, you see these 2 dogs? Yeah, that's what you're like. You're like the moon, and these are the 2 dogs like, ooh. Perhaps some of you get catcalled. But whatever. Again, you have the pentacle, earth energy vibes going on here. So well put together, well dressed. Okay, right. I'm just going to focus on those. I'm just going to pull a bit more. But yeah, oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, you bring up people's insecurities again, even on the street. It'll be more like, oh, this person looks so good. This person looks amazing. Well put together. Dressed as well. Looks like they're important. Looks like they have, like, it almost feels like they make a snap decision, like, oh, this person's like great, and they start reflecting on their life, and they think that, oh, maybe like I'm not as rich as them, or like, oh, I'm not as like put together as them, or I'm not as hot as them, blah 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 blah, and their own like little victim mentality comes out, and they start, maybe they even like gossip about you, like to your friend, like maybe like, oh, look at that person, don't they think they're amazing, ha ha ha, and then deep down they're crying because it feels like, oh, like I wish I was, you know, blah blah blah. I'm also feel like with the victim card, it feels like you're the dragon, very powerful energy, just minding their own goddamn business, and they're the squirrel, and they're like, they want to get everything that you represent, so powerful, put together, but you're just so unbothered. It's almost like, how to explain this? It's like, you know who you are, you know yourself, and that reflects out, and they want to have what you have, but they're going about it the wrong way. So they're looking at it as a 3D thing, but you're like 5D. Like, you know that money doesn't make you, it's your own worth, but they think that it's the money that makes you, if that makes sense. That's the best way I can really explain it. But you just make them jealous. Wow, that sounds lovely. In a weird way, like it's almost like a, yeah, I know I look good. And the person on the street's like, damn, why can't I be like that? And that's the energy that you give out. So part number 2, I hope that resonated with you guys and that you enjoyed it. You guys are amazing energy that I've really enjoyed. I mean, it took a while. It took me a good old while to tap into that beautiful energy. But either way, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next Pickacard reading. Bye! Hello my beautiful pile number 3s. You have chosen the rhododite. I can't pronounce that at all, but it's a beautiful crystal. It is self-love, it is healing past wounds. It's like a beautiful balm of love, and I have been looking forward to your pile for ages. I can't wait. immediately from the get-go, I knew that this pal is just so loving, warm, full of fuzzies, a bit like cotton candy. So on that note, I'm gonna bring this little cute heart chocolate. This is actual chocolate, I know, crazy, but I'm gonna put this one here because I feel like this is what your guys' energy is like. So of course this is about people's first impressions of you, but I want to do an energy check first so you know that this is your pile. Just an extra confirmation. Yeah, there we go. Confirmation that this is your pile. So let's have a look. Pile number 3. The Holy Trinity. What do we have? Pile number 3. Pile number 3. Okay. Interesting. 8 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Magician. Let's pull some more. The World. Look at her little glitter titties. I know. I have to cover their modesty, just because I don't want to get demonetized. Okay, I'll move this up in a minute. Don't worry. Oh, and this one wants to come out as well. Okay, so you guys are definitely dreamy types. Let me just move this up so you can see everything. Ta-da! Right, so I do sense that some of you probably don't have a lot of inner worth or self-love. Perhaps you found it difficult in the past to really appreciate who you are and to love yourself. Maybe you had some negative self-talk, but I felt because your energy is so pure, almost Disney-like. You remind me of a Disney princess or prince or whatever. Doesn't matter about the gender, but you just have a beautiful childlike, not childish, childlike energy about you. Youthful, angelic, serene. And I do feel like perhaps you guys are very harsh on yourself, so you may not see yourself as that, or you may feel like people, when they look at you, they see all of your imperfections that you think that you have. Perhaps you might get a bit insecure. It's funny because in Power 1 and Power 2, I feel like they cause people to feel insecure with themselves, but I feel like with you, it's the opposite. It's flipped, it's mirrored. It's like you feel insecure in public spaces, or perhaps you feel just insecure in general, but people see you as just this very beautiful presence, really. I think you have very angelic features. Big eyes, or at least just very expressive eyes, beautiful lips, that kind of vibe. You operate in your aura, and when I say that, I mean that you're quite, like, your feelings are pretty open booked, if that makes sense. Like, you're not reserved in that sense. Perhaps you feel like you got, like, because of your insecurities, that you come across as a bit closed off, or you feel a bit anxious, or you might be worried about how people perceive you. But I feel like people see you and they think, wow, like, what a crystal clear energy. Like, I know I can read you pretty openly. Like, you're not someone to come across as closed off or cold-hearted. With the Queen of Cups, someone who is in their emotions, but she's a queen, you know? She's not like the Page of Cups, where she's just exploring her emotions. She's someone who's fully emotionally developed. So you could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but I feel like it doesn't even matter. I just feel like you're nurturing. I'm sensing that children respond to you kindly. I know some of you probably thought, oh no, let's say my nephew or niece always cries or whatever, but like, I feel like they have an inner knowing, like, you know, you're a good person, you're sweet. Perhaps they stare at you in public, or like on a plane, they can't take their eyes off you, or you want children, you are very nurturing. Again, that childlike energy is coming forward. I do sense that you like the ocean, it cleanses you, you like the outdoors, or you probably listen to like rain sounds at night, that kind of thing. With the 10 of Pentacles, I would say that you are well on your way to becoming quite successful in life, very abundant. But I feel like material abundance isn't just the priority of you. You are more like the spiritual, emotional wealth, just as much as the material wealth. I think dogs and animals respond to you a lot, almost clinging to you. They kind of like they like your energy. I feel like you're kind of like one of those people who just kind of glides through life. Perhaps you know, maybe you're not as physical as most people. Perhaps you're more Piscean in that sense. You're not like an Aries where like you're constantly on the go physically, but you tend to like the more gentler sports. That could be for some of you, not for all of you, but whatever. But I feel like you're one of those people who like to kind of like just you're leisurer. You're a bit like Jenna Marbles. I'm leisurean, you know what I mean? Like you're kind of one of those. Very happy to kind of stay indoors, more like Cancerian energy as well. Stay indoors, watch a good movie, read a good book, listen to music. Or if you are going to go out traveling, you're going to go around the town, look at the history, look at the architecture. You're not going to be this way, that way, let's go off and jump off a cliff or something. And yeah, with the like the wand energy, I also feel like you got a lot of admirers that you probably don't realize. But we'll see that later on. But this is the energy check right now. And I would say that cosmically you're quite aligned and you're a very good manifester. If you haven't tried manifesting, then perhaps try. Like I feel like you're good with scripting or writing, or like you're very good at kind of connecting with the 5D, even beyond, like maybe 7D or something. You'll be very good at just going up into your meditative space, and your guides and yours relationship is quite well formed, or you have a lot of guides around you, a lot of angelic realm, fairies, gnomes, that kind of vibes, mermaids, unicorns even, dragons, whatever. The magician here, again, someone who is spiritual, someone who can manifest strongly. I also feel like you get on with quite a lot of people, different walks of life, because we do have the water, the swords, the wands, the earth. You're someone who likes to be friends with different people. You're not closed-minded in that sense. You're going to try and see the best in people. And with the 7 of Cups, we have the dreamer, Piscean energy again, dreamer energy. I also think you have quite different vast interests, the drama. You can appreciate behind the scenes in dramatic arts. You remind me kind of like if you watched people at the Oscars and they start like crying in their acceptance speech, perhaps you get emotional as well. Or you watch the news and you're deeply affected. You're an empath. You're more empathic. You're quite a rare empath as well. Maybe Haiku, or I think it's called Haiku. I could be wrong, but it's something similar sounding like that, like a very rare empath. You're also like an intuitive. Yeah, 100%. The world, people like value you in high regard. Perhaps you like wearing very, like if you're feminine energy, then you like feminine clothes. If you're masculine, you wear masculine clothes. Like, but it's very much, or maybe not so much the masculine. Maybe you are. I do feel like a feminine sense, like, you know, nice colors, like also kind of like shiny and kind of muted colors. Like it's like a different range I'm getting here. But I would say you're quite fashion forward, even if you don't feel like you are. You're someone who takes pride in what they look like, or they just look good in anything. Even if you like sweats around the home, you still look good. Like you put your hair up in a messy bun and you just wear your little sweatpants and stuff like that, but you would still look amazing. We do have the King of Cups, or the King and Queen of Cups, so this would indicate to me, I feel like also you attract people who are like-minded or your counterpart. Love comes in very much for this reading, so I feel like your counterpart, and I just saw 1101 there, so there we go. I feel like your counterpart, you're meant to be with someone who can nurture you, who can be emotionally available, but also someone who is a bit of an explorer, someone who likes to travel, someone who like has shedded their skin. So maybe like you're with someone right now who has done a 360, or like you know, they've changed who they are. Like maybe in the past they're a bit of a F-boy, bit of a fuckboy, but or whatever, or like someone who's a bit, you know, you weren't unsure with, but then have changed and morphed into this like emotionally, spiritually aware person. Or you're about to meet, or you will meet someone who, if you want, of course, it's up to you if you want to be in a relationship, but you're meant to be with someone who will fulfill you in your emotions and spiritually and financially, and I feel like they're going to be quite abundant. So I think you're meant to live an abundant lifestyle. Pile number 3, an Ace of Cups again, so your emotional cup is well fulfilled, and spirit channels for you quite a bit. I feel like you guys are artists, naturally really good at art. I don't know, I also feel like water sports or watercolors, anything to do with water really kind of like fulfills you, nourishes you. I keep touching my palm, so maybe you guys are Reiki healers, oops, oopsies, or you have like healing hands, like sculpting or like massage or something, or like dancing movement, anything like that. There's like fluidity to you as well. Perhaps in the past you couldn't really control your emotions, or you were just kind of like a bit frazzled in new environments, or like environments where there's lots of loudness, people, and like just lots of things going on, and you probably thought that all eyes were on you, and you felt you kind of shrunk back into yourself. But I feel like now you're kind of gaining control of your emotions, or like you're very good at just channeling them in a healthy, creative way. We do have a little bit of indecisive energy coming in here. Perhaps you have a lot of options, or like when you start something, you want to switch back into something else. So that maybe like, say if you're a writer, you're writing one novel, but then you have an idea halfway through writing that one to go and start something new. And you often try like new pursuits, new business ideas. Maybe you've had a lot of different ventures, but that's all part of your spiritual journey. You will find the right one. I feel like because this hat is so big, if you are someone who is trying to find like a different like business idea and you haven't quite found it yet, I do feel like if you channeled more with spirit, they will tell you, because the hat is very big. It feels like a beaker to me. It's like a signal. Excuse me. So I do feel like perhaps if you just like talk to your spirit guides, they will guide you where to go, or maybe like your business should be like spiritual based or something like that. I don't know, it's very interesting. It's almost like if you were like training to be, for example, a psychologist, but you're spiritual, perhaps combining the two, like a psychic psychologist or something like that, would be more beneficial, or I don't know, something along those lines, you know what I mean? Okay, right, that's the energy check. I hope it resonated with y'all. And we're gonna go to our first topic and see what potential romantic interest feel when they look at you. And I feel like I already have a good indication. I feel like when they see you, it's like you're just the like you're just almost like they see you, even if you're tall, they'll see you as really cute and petite and like somewhere, like someone to like be protective over. You know what I mean? Let's have like a little easy feel. I feel like I just want to hold you. This like, oh my god, titties, girl, modesty, modesty. There we go. I gotta cover her modesty because I don't want to get demonetized on the old YouTubies, the Hierophant. Yeah, so we have very protective energy. So you're someone who attracts people who want to protect you, who will fight over you. And I feel like perhaps in the past, maybe like if you're still in high school or uni, or you're around like people who are not as mature as you would hope, I feel like those people would like just fight over you, like when you're not there. So I think if you walked into a room and there are like a few people who are romantically interested in you because you are very beautiful, and I want you guys to believe that, I feel like the two people who are interested in you would kind of like stare at each other down and maybe have a little bit of fisticuffs, or not like fisticuffs, but you know what I mean, kind of like their energy would be like, oh, like I see you as a threat to power number 3, like I want power number 3, if that makes sense. We have Judgment. I also feel like when you come into a room, a lot of people stop and look. We have the Lovers here again. So you are like are blessed to meet someone. Do you see the little glitter titties? You are blessed to meet someone 100% who is your counterpart in this life cycle, in this life. There we go. I feel like not everyone, but I do feel like some of you have probably attracted different people or walks of life. I gotta split in the group. I feel like some of you have never been in a relationship and are waiting to be in a relationship, and I do feel like, you know, perhaps you will meet a few frogs before you find the prince, or I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people here who probably have been with their partner since high school sweethearts, or you're gonna reconnect with a high school sweetheart, and then there's some of you that have been through a lot of people because you attract a lot of needy people, I feel like, or people who like emotionally offload on you, and you've been like a therapist for them in the past, but you will meet someone who gives as much as you, and it's like an equal partnership. Because I'm just very honed in how the snake, and then we had the fire tree here, the flame tree, and then we have the earth coming here, and then the air. It feels like you are like more, even if you're not a water sign, you are more kind of like giving, nurturing, loving, healing, and the sun as well. And these people kind of more like, you know, takers rather. I feel like you've just been a giver, and these people have just been takers. But you are going to meet someone who, I don't know why that message is coming through so strongly. I just sense that you're going to meet someone who's going to give as much as they take. Anyway, but yeah, so people want to be protective of you when they first see you. They're like, okay, we've got to protect her at all costs. We've got the Death card, and we've got the 8. The 8 of Pentacles. So this could be, even if you're in a work environment or a studying environment, people say like you're sitting down in the library or you're just working, you get a lot of customers look at you, you got a lot of co-workers who are interested in you, people flirt with you even if you may not be aware of it, constantly have eyes on you, like in a positive way though. Like, I feel like this card with the death card, I feel like people kind of fall at your feet a little bit, even if you're not aware of it. They think, they're kind of like almost like, oh, I'm deceased, this person is so good looking, this person's energy is so beautiful, and I feel like you're just like on your white stallion, just like, you know, just like prancing around. You're almost like the white horse, beautiful, pure energy, and everyone's just like, yes, daddy, or like, yes, come here. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that, energy. It's very sweet. I think you're soft spoken. You got the world as well, so you're gonna be blessed in this partnership that you're gonna come into. You're blessed in love, even if you don't feel like you are. You will be, because again, we have like different elements here. We have the lion, the bull. Then we have this kind of like Shakespearean man up here, then we have like, you know, the hawk. So like you attract different types of people. Interesting. So let's see what else we have. Oh, these are in reverse. Sorry, this is probably because I'm pulling them upside down. I love it when that happens, like in tarot, you see people like keep pulling reverse after reverse, and you're like, honey, I think you got the freaking cards upside down, like, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, so transformation, fairies coming in. Fairies are very attracted to you, so in the fairy realm perhaps is where you like reside, or like you kind of like, you feel like you have wings, or like, or they look at you and they think, oh my god, like angelic, very much like this woman here. And earth as well, so rest and rejuvenate. I feel like people see you as a sanctuary when they first see you. They see you as like very much like a giving, harmonious energy. I feel like in terms of, I know this isn't art 18, so I'm just gonna call it relations in bed, okay? So in relations in bed, if you're old enough, you know, if you're under 18, I don't want to hear it, but like, yeah. Anyway, if you are in relations in bed with people, I feel like that you have very healing relations. You're someone like they want to just touch, they want to like fondle, caress, massage, and like play with your hair. Your hair seems quite significant, so this one, like, maybe your hair is like very long and flowy, or like it's different in some way. It's just very touchable, very soft. I love how people see you. Potential romantic. I love you, I love your power. Wheel of Fire, interesting. The colour of my fate. So I follow my dreams with an intention and honour them with my courage. So I feel like people dream about you quite a lot. You're in people's dreams. You're kind of like, if you're in a relationship with someone and you meet their friend or their group, they think they want to be with someone like you, or they may fantasize like you. Do you know what I mean? It feels like that kind of energy, or it feels like you could be like just, I don't know, in terms of like relationships, it's kind of like a dream come true to them. We've got like a lot of like I burn for you. At the bottom of the deck, we've got I burn for you. So they can get like a little bit obsessed with you, with the myrtle flower here. It's kind of like, and territory is picking up here. I feel like they're quite possessive again over you. So that's what we have in love, dear pal 3. So now we're going to move on to potential friendships. So you could be at school or like, you know, whatever, like any potential friendships that you have. Like, you know, say you just entered a work environment and you want to know what, you know, I don't know, anything. It's like, it could be anything. Any potential friendships. It could be at a party, like, oh, this person's interesting. Like, you want to know like how potential friendships see you. I don't know why I keep repeating myself, sorry. Okay. So we have Harvest, again, nurturing energy, very drawn into your spirituality. We've got base chakra, fulfillment of wishes. You're like a dream come true. Your friend come true, you nurture. Again, you're very wise as well. Knight of Pentacles. Okay, we have a little bit of defensive energy going on with the base chakra, and then the 8 of Wands. No, sorry, not 8 of Wands, 10 of Wands. Interesting. Okay, I get a few things with that, and the Devil. Okay, interesting. So I do feel like people can get a bit jealous over you in friendships. Perhaps you've had a few people who, because you get quite a lot of attention, or you are kind of like just so giving and nurturing and everyone seems to really care about you and love you, it does feel a bit like, interesting, it does feel like a lot of people's insecurities come out a lot. Yeah, you have a lot of interesting energy here going on with your friend group. I think maybe perhaps you've attracted the wrong type of people, or the wrong type of people are attractive to you in terms of like your friendships. Yeah, the essence. Okay, yeah. So I feel like I'm also gonna pull some here. Okay, hold on. Just bear with me. One seems to be very significant with you, so maybe you keep seeing 111, or like one's very significant. I'm just gonna pull every single card I have here because this is very interesting. Okay. So perhaps because you are very creative, they're jealous of like your creativity because it is in reverse. And I feel like these people, like just the insecurities come out with you in terms of friendships. Perhaps you've had like people like best friends in the past, or like friendship groups in the past, but perhaps they've rejected you in some way, or you feel rejected by them, or like it's just because you're so beautiful and like people want to be with you, especially when it comes to romantic things. If you're in a friendship group, you can get people who are just jealous of you, or who might be like, they might burrow into themselves and like just really like fester like their own insecurities. Might like wonder like, why is it always you and never me? It feels like, or they see your beauty and they think, oh, like I'm not as good as them, or like I don't get it, why is everyone attracted to them? You have to lay a very solid foundation of friendship, I think. I think you're getting into this kind of like energy of you want just like amazing friends. Like maybe perhaps you'd rather have like one really good friend than like 10 just okay friends, you know what I mean? I feel like you've had to clear the energy away, almost like a dam. I feel like it feels weird. I'm just getting an image of like a beaver. Instead of making a dam and like holding up all the stagnant water, it feels like to me you're doing the opposite. Like you're clearing away the trees, you're clearing away the branches, the rotten branches, and you're letting the energy of like pure friendship and love come through. So very interesting. Why I'm seeing that. It's like an essence, like basically like the essence of who you are, this beautiful flower, and the joy that you admit, even if you don't realize it, even if you're like, this is how people see you, you know? So I feel like you just radiate this joy and love with the harmony. Perhaps you're really good singers as well, like I said, and also just really good watercolor artists, or artists in general. You just have like, you're very imbalanced with femininity and like with creativity, and I feel like just people just get jealous of you. That's just the main thing. You might be like in school, you might have like been in a work environment and you're excelling, but people get jealous of you. That's just the main message coming through here. And yeah, rejection. So you may have felt a bit rejected, or perhaps you may have had some hurtful things said by friends, like maybe you guys were doing art like this person is in this card here, and perhaps they're like, oh yeah, that's okay. Or maybe like they never praise you. Maybe if you're friends with someone and you're best friends, but like you're always praising them but they never praise you. There's a reason for that. So yeah, I do feel like you guys are clearing away energies right now. And with the base chakra, that's all about, you know, it's all like the survival instinct. It is grounding, yeah, but it can be a bit like very just immature, like survival energy, very animalistic energy. And you're very spiritual and very much in your heart chakra. And I feel like in the past, and maybe in the present, there's friends around you who just feel insecure and like just not the great energy to be in terms of friendships, or anything really, to be honest. Again, with the devil, they might see you as very bountiful, and like your wishes come through very like you have everything handed to you. So perhaps maybe you grew up wealthy, or like you appeared to be wealthy, or you had the looks, you had something in abundance that they wanted, and like you can attract some negative energies here. But yeah, and I feel like maybe perhaps you took them to heart. Some of you may have took them to heart, and that's what's formed your own insecurities in life. But to be honest, you're much more than that. You know, you're a material harvest. We have like someone making like the Knight of Pentacles, someone on the way to making a lot of money. Like I said, you're going to be abundant. So I mean, of course, you're going to attract people who don't want to see you do well, unfortunately. But that's just some first impressions of you. Like I said, you might just be one of those people like, oh, you set off people's insecurities. And there we go. I think that's because that's been like a common theme in these piles. I think people don't realize that even if you feel really bad about yourself, there's always going to be someone who looks at you and wishes what you want, if that makes sense, regardless of what you feel within yourself. So it's interesting. Okay, So we are now going to move on to career. How people see you in your career. How does your boss feel about you? That kind of energy. I kind of want to eat this. Do you mind if I eat this? I want to keep it to the end of the reading, but I really want to eat it at the same time as passion fruit. Anyway, whatever. In career, maybe that's symbolic. Maybe you've had people really crushing on you in your career who wants to have a little bite, a little nibble. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is if you work in an environment with lots of people or a group of people, you're going to be here. And if you're self-employed, it's going to be here, and what your clients think about you. Okay? Awesome. Pile number 3, I love thee, you are great. We are like a Disney prince. Oh, Vanilla Lily. Ambassador of love. You guys. Oh, you guys kind of like remind me of the colour of my nails. These ones in particular. Beautiful moonstone energy vibes going on here. Just, oh. Sorry, it sounds really weird, but gorgeous. Strawberries come into mind. Maybe you guys like strawberries, or you smell like strawberries. I don't know, but you're kind. You don't judge people. That's how people see you. They think, oh, you're going to be really sweet and like kind and nice and just earthy and like also watery at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're the person that everyone wants to be friends with. 100%. And you smell really good. You might get like, oh, you smell nice. Or like people go and they go, what is that? Again, creative energy. So they see you as someone who's very creatively abundant, someone who's strong and nurturing, and perhaps it's someone in your work group who is kind of like unliked by everyone else, but for some reason you guys just get on with each other. I'm just gonna clarify that. Okay, thank you. So you guys just get on with each other really, really well, and everyone's just like, why do you like this person? And you're like, oh, because I can see the best in them. Like, I can see like who they truly are about. But then everyone finds them like a little bit awkward and a little bit weird, and you're like, yeah, they're all good. So I feel like, again, that whole you attract different walks of life, the energy's coming through quite strong here. You're kind of like a dream employee. You work hard, you have a lot of creative ideas. I do feel like you would thrive in a creative environment. I also feel like you guys would be suited for like marketing or like anything like Instagram-y vibes. Like, you're very good at the visuals, film industry, makeup, hair. I feel like you guys, caregiving, executive position, anything creative like that, advertising. It could be spiritual as well. You could be psychic tarot reader, but I do feel like you're very good at marketing yourself and your others, and you're like, I feel like if you're in a work environment, you can look at a group of people and maybe your boss has put them in positions where you're questioning that, and you're realizing that because you kind of relate to everyone and like you get to know them and who they are, you know that, say you got Steve over there who's good at photography, and then you have Rachel over there who's good at technology, and for some reason your boss has put Steve with fixing computers and what's her name? Rachel, that's her name now, forgot her name, Rachel, who's doing the artwork, and you're like, no, they should be switched. And like, you're very good at knowing people's weaknesses and strengths, and you kind of like harness the strengths and then talk to them about their weaknesses, but in a kind manner. That's what I feel like you have the energy of. I also feel like this black cat here is very auspicious, so things tend to be a bit lucky. So work projects seem to be lucky, or perhaps you're in a team where it's a little bit competitive and you all seem to always get the fruition, or you always have the good ideas. And you know, some people might try and step on that and say it's their idea, but people innately know that it's you. You are meant to be, I think you're meant to be second in command for a reason. Like, of course some of you are going to be leaders, great, but there's an energy here that feels like, it's almost like, you know, the X Factor shows, or Britain's Got Talent, or America's Got Talent, whatever. And you know how it's always like, the winner, you never see or hear from them again, but the second up and the third up people, they have the best careers, the most flourishing careers. I feel like there's an energy here with you that it's like, you may not be the top dog, but there's a reason, and you're going to be more successful in a secondary position because you get more done, you're seen more, you're recognized more. In a way, you're more abundant. It sounds really bizarre, but I feel like the top position is like they have all like they hear all the complaints, and like they got to pay the bills, and they've got to do all the finances and all the meetings. But you kind of flourish more in like it's almost like a vice president role where you're just like, I don't get all the blame, I get to do what I need to do, and I get all the successes, and they have to deal with all the fallouts. You know what I mean? That's the energy I get for some reason. Yeah, interesting. We have number 8 as well coming to mind, so it could be a life path 8, or like it's very like an infinity number, so that seems to be following you around. 1s and 8s seem to be following you around. Anyway, the Hermit energy. Perhaps you do feel like you work better alone, or you work better at night. That might come through a little bit. Perhaps you kind of become more awake at night, or you get your best ideas alone, or in the shower, or just like on random, like on the toilet or whatever. Like you have to grab your phone and like get your ideas down really quickly. It just feels like, yeah, and perhaps you've been a traveler in the past life, or like in the actual past, and it feels like you've really kind of like taken time out, or you're gonna take time out to nurture your own, like your star. Like, I mean, say, I don't know, I mean, for some of you, like you're gonna be like budding actors or actresses or whatever, and it feels like you need a little bit of time to cultivate who you are, and to really nurture your star, and like put boundaries around it, like your own inner like creativity. But like it's something that you'll focus on. Like your goal is to like become well known. I do see that happening for you. You know, the boundaries are up. Like it's like you want to become successful no matter what people say. There's like a specific message for some of you, but you have the world, so like whatever creative or like whatever endeavor that you want to do, it will be quite a fulfilled and flourishing career. We do have towers, and then we have the Queen of Swords. So perhaps in the past you've been a little bit too hard on yourself, or you are hard on yourself, but I thought this has definitely changed, because I think as soon as you start having negative self-talk, you've almost got to like cleanse yourself and realign, and like keep that kind of like connection with spirit, to realize like, you know, you are the world, you have these great manifesting abilities and like flourishing life ahead, and like you do have a flourishing life. You've really got to like pull back into yourself and like stop your head talk and lead with your soul, you know what I mean? But I feel like with the Tower energy here, it's like you're going through that transformation, or you've been through that transformation. So any more, let's see how people see you in your career. Power number 3. Oopsies, I dropped all that. Bittersweet. I feel like if you help people who feel sad, or if you remember people's birthdays, you remember little details about them. Again, service here. You're just like the most kind, beautiful soul to have. Gratitude. People love you. People really love you, and it's like first impressions. Like I want to carry this on as well. I feel like people's first impressions of you are spot on, really. Like this very nurturing. You probably have like a lot of friendship groups. A lot of I haven't done. Do you know in part 2? I don't think I did their if they work by themselves. Oh wow, oopsies. I'll do that in a minute. If you're like a lone wolf and you're self-employed, I will do a line for you. I'm sorry, but I do feel like, yeah, you're one of those people that people just really respond to and like really appreciate your acts of service and what you do for them. Okay, I will be doing I'm gonna do now. If you work by yourself, kind of like manifestation. So again, you're very good at manifesting, aren't you? Beautiful. Right. Okay. Bottom of the deck. Heart chakra. Lovely. Oh, we've got 3 here. Again, the Holy Trinity with you guys. Harmony. Maybe you guys are good matchmakers, or you've met someone through work or something. Shadow work. So actually similar vibes. People, if you work by yourself, you have a similar vibe that's going on here. So yeah, solitude. Again, you thrive. Best ideas come alone. Even if you are harmonious in a group environment, perhaps you work better alone. Sounds a bit odd, but yeah, shadow work here. If it's like, again, travel energy. So exactly what I've said in this part, apply it to if you work by yourself. People still, like clients will still respond to you with like love and like gratitude. So yeah, great, amazing. So let's move on to school. How do people see you if you work at school, or like even if you're not at school and you've gone way past those years, relate, then stick around, because you know I might pick up on like how people saw you at school. Maybe you're curious to know. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. Lucky with the good hair. People at school must have gossiped about you. They must have gossiped about you. There's some person who does not like you at school because, like I said, you are the sun energy. You are the star energy. And what comes after the star? We have this and we have that. Okay, so you may have dated someone in high school, or someone liked you in high school or university, and one person did not like that and probably started rumors about you. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting. We have the devil here, and then we have like a love relationship, so they would have been very jealous to you. Is this someone that you would have been friends with, perhaps? But I do feel like this is someone, no, I feel like this is someone slightly removed as well, so someone who's like more like an air or earth energy here going on here. Someone who's a bit spiteful, but someone who's like also in like a pretty high up position, like in the hierarchy of school, which is annoying. It shouldn't be a hierarchy at school, but I do feel like there is. I really now want to take a bite of this, and I feel like this is what maybe perhaps like you're a bit of a heartbreaker in school and you probably didn't even realize it. This is something here that's like a jealousy here. I don't know, but like again, you just have that energy. You still have that energy of like almost Aquarius energy in school. So even if you weren't Aquarius, you had that kind of energy of like just a bit like Harry Styles, you know what I mean? Everyone wants Harry Styles. He's like very expressive and creative and like talented, and everyone's just like, oh, I want him, or like I want to be him. And it was like that energy still at school. The Hangman, perhaps you didn't feel like you were that great in some subjects. So you're again like a little bit of insecurity coming out here, but like this is kind of like this interesting energy here. Almost like a backstabbing betrayal energy going on with school. So perhaps you had some friends who weren't really that friendly, if that makes it like frenemy vibes with some of you. But I say you're quite like positive, cheerful. Maybe you were sporty in school. Like maybe you were more sporty in school than you are now, or like maybe you just was like I don't know, you just seem to have like a very creative, you are very creative. Like there is like an energy here of like maybe if like you didn't feel like you were that great at school. We have blue pinkishin. So people miss you from school. So people that you've like had friends with miss you at school. I feel like this video is not much about first impressions, because I'm literally just trying to read you and oops. But I do feel like, yeah, people's first impression of you, very joyful, sunny disposition, like beauty. There we go. I told you guys are good looking. I knew it. God, you're probably over there, freaking model-like energy. You're probably sitting on your bed, just like lounging out, probably eating your potato chips or whatever, but like you're doing it very seductively. I don't know what you're doing, girl, boy, non-binary, whatever, but like flow energy, water energy. Oh, you guys have the same energy everywhere you go, which is great, because some people are a little bit like interesting, aren't they? Like some people have like different energies in different environments, but you're pretty steady. You're pretty like, I know what I'm gonna get with you guys. Yeah, it's cool. I think teachers liked you as well, actually. Oneness. You are part of the universe and you always will be. So perhaps in like school you weren't that spiritual, or maybe like you rejected it, or like you were struggling to find your own way, or like you were just about to start the journey of spirituality in school, or like maybe you had like a religious family that you were maybe not comfortable with, or whatever reason, or perhaps you just feel like you can nurture your spirituality in school. I just dropped something. Oh, there we are. Gossip. Oh, here we go. Got the gossip card, but it fell to the floor, so like it's behind you now, honey, so I wouldn't worry about that. And then we've got guilt in reverse. So these people did not feel guilty about like being mean behind your back, and maybe perhaps you may have gossiped in the past, and perhaps you fed into that energy a little bit, but I do feel like you are very caring. So maybe you could have like tried to mend people who like had like lots of fallouts, and like maybe you like the kind of like try to diffuse the situation and mend it, build bridges, or maybe you like participated in it, whatever, but still I don't feel like that's you. There's a bit of guilt there, so maybe your home life was very interesting for some of you, like it was maybe your relationship with your mother or your caregiver wasn't as strong as it should be, or like they worked very hard and you barely saw them. But yeah, that's your energy in school. Right then, let's move on. Let's let's get these out the way. I've really got to put some gel things on her little boobie area. She's naked over here. Right. Kind of ridiculous how you have to cover up their modesty. Because like, it's just art. I don't think anyone's gonna, you know, get really excited over that. And maybe I'm wrong. Whatever. Okay, so now for the last one, we're gonna see how random people walking down the street see you. So you could be at the bus stop, you could be shopping, at the movies, and oh, just saw 444. And people are going to be, well, I don't know what they're gonna be like. Let's have a look, shall we? But these are just random people you don't know and you probably won't care to know. But let's see what they are like as you walk into the room. Okay, very interesting. And I haven't had this with pile 1 and 2. I feel like you're very spiritually protected. Perhaps you've had some run-ins in the past where you thought, oh, for some of you, this is only for some of you, but I feel like you've had instances where you thought, oh, I could have like been seriously hurt there, or I could have been followed or stalked or whatever, but for some reason I wasn't, and you feel like there's a guardian angel around you. For the majority for you, actually no, for every single one watching, you have some sort of spiritual energy that's shrouding you, making you feel a little bit invisible. So if you feel like you're walking through the room and people don't really look at you that much, or it's interesting because I did say that you had a lot of eyes on you, and you do, but maybe perhaps there's been periods in your life where you feel like people just don't notice you, or like you go through periods of like you feel like you're invisible. There's a good reason for that. Just because you run at a high vibration, you may be in an environment where there's a lot of like energy vampires, or like there's a lot of people who would have fed off that energy in like a not so positive way. So I just want you to remember, if you feel invisible when you walk into a place, there's a good reason for that for that reason. There's a good reason for that reason. There's a good reason for that. Yeah, interesting. I have not had that yet. You guys, I can see why. Peggy! Maybe you're born in the year of the pig? Oh, you're little piggy. Maybe you're like Babe? I don't know. You are a bit like Babe, to be honest. Oh yeah, see what I was talking about? A snake is predatory. A snake will eat this pig. I mean, honey, a snake can eat a person. That's kind of rude, isn't it? Anyway, but a snake is like and this person, normally I would say it's, you know, time to shed. But for this spirit, I feel very like hostility. So I feel like some people are like, delicious. I don't want you to get scared, because it's probably why Spirit was like, you guys are very divinely protected. But I do feel like there's anyone who's a bit like snake-like and thinks that you're like a good tasty ass meal. Spirit's like, no, snake. And then they protect you, and like they're just like, yeet, you know what I mean? Like a yeet snake. What am I talking about? But you know what I mean, like you're protected. But look at you, like a little angel. You're Babe. You are like Babe energy. Like naive, but like you're not naive. Like you're wise, but you're also like, yeah, naive but wise. Like, what's the word for naive that's not naive? I don't know. Innocent. But like you're not, but you've seen stuff. I don't know, it's interesting. It's like just very pure. Interesting. Okay, my camera cut out because I'm 1, running out of battery, and 2, I ran out of memory, so I had to clear some memory. But anyway, yeah, we have like a Phantom of the Opera vibe going on here with like this mask. I feel like maybe you're in like the dramatic arts. Anyway, quickly, let's finish your reading off because I don't want to lose this energy. There we go. The Hermit. Okay, again, that shrouded energy happening here. Again, the protecting of your own star-like energy. It's being protected by Spirit. But then when they do see you, when you are kind of like, when Spirit does take off that kind of like, sorry, I'm like going so fast now. When Spirit does take off that protective energy, people might think that, oh, I wish I could like offer myself to this person. Or maybe they'd stare at you without you knowing, or like they see like happiness, like you're quite a very high vibrational energy, so perhaps they see you as someone who's very happy or has it all. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting with you. We are now speed running this. We have Joy again, so you give off this energy. You have like a very nice creative earthy spirit, boho spirit kind of vibes going on here. People just love to be, you know, looking at you and thinking, oh great, she's lovely, she's embracing. Sunflowers are very prominent coming here. Probably think that you're a good gardener, or like someone who's very just lovely, love, joy, life, speaking of radiant support and love. That is how people see you, my beautiful pile number 3. I'm sorry that I literally spoke of the speed of 1,000 suns at the end. But do you know what? Who cares, you know what I mean? It's so good. I've already had like 5 of these today. Don't judge me too much. Anyway, peace and love, my beautiful pal number 3. Hopefully I'll see you next time.